We are back with another episode of Straight Talk with Postgrad Recruits. Tonight we got Storm Prep. Am I saying that right? Is that the name?
Georgia Storm Prep Academy.
Georgia Storm
Prep Academy. Yes, sir.
Georgia Storm Prep Academy. All right. Georgia Storm Prep Academy. Where is Georgia Storm Prep Academy?
It's in Avery, Georgia, about an hour away from Augusta, 2 hours away from Atlanta.
Okay, Avery, Georgia. An hour from Augusta, 2 hours from Atlanta. Okay. I probably passed right through there and didn't even know.
All the time. All the time. So it's a little town, though. It's a little town.
Is it?
Yes, sir. It's a little town.
Okay. So your mom was just on. Hopefully she can get back on there. But we had that issue sometime.
It's okay. I can just swing it around.
And yes, everybody, I did say his mom is a family affair. The Camp Storm is a family affair. Who we got with you right now? Let's introduce everybody.
I'm the dad. I'm Coach West. I'm the athletic director of the program.
Okay.
I'm Leo Robinson, football player of Georgia Storm.
What positions?
Running back, receiver.
Running back, receiver. Where you from, Leo?
I'm from Florida, Lake City, Florida.
Lake City, Florida. Okay, you made your way up to Georgia.
Yes, sir.
That heat a little different in Georgia, ain't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I already know. And Madame, there she goes right there. The lady.
Hey.
The backbone. we all know who the backbone is. The woman is always the backbone.
Steve Johnson, the director.
How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm good. And young man, who we got here? What player we got here?
My name is Osmani Aguilera from Tampa Bay, Florida, and I play linebacker and running back here.
Okay, so y'all just came and scooped up all the Florida boys.
I tried to, man.
I mean, Storm, you spent some time in Florida, man. Say a little synopsis, not too much, but tell a little bit about
yes, I got recruited to go to Miami University, the Hurricanes. Then I transferred and went to UCF. Then along there, I got drafted, went to Jacksonville. Spent about 2 years there. Spent a year at Tampa Bay. Then spent my last year and a half with Miami Dolphins. So I've been in Florida for quite a while.
Right. So that's how I already know you got that Florida plug. You got that Florida connection.
Yes, sir. It's about that Sunshine State, man. Can't get away from it.
Right. So Leo, you from Florida, how is it being in Avery, Georgia?
It's great. It's definitely a good experience. They work very different down here, very hard, and gotta keep the process going of what we're doing and what we focusing on.
Right. I feel you. I like that. I see you learning something. It's rubbing off, y'all. It's rubbing off. It's rubbing off. That's for sure. So y'all are in Avery, Georgia. What the process of the mindset of creating this program? What was that? How this come about? Why and why?
Well, we have 40 acres out here in Avery. We decided to create something. Storm had an opportunity to get some time in the NFL, and he wasn't done with it. He wanted to create something. So we created a campus here. We created an environment where the kids are brought in and they're limited to this environment, much like going to college where you have to stay on campus and do what you do. So we created an environment that is conducive to learning, discipline, focus, very much like going in college. We have classes here, they do football here, everything is done in one environment. So that was the impetus of why we started Georgia Storm Prep. We wanted to give these guys a chance to emulate a college experience, but also focus on their craft. The key to focus on your craft, no distractions, knowing nothing coming in, nothing going out. So we decided on this spot. It was a great idea. And I think that our boys really get an opportunity now to see within themselves and see how motivated they are to do what they want to do.
Right. Right, and I've seen pictures of you guys' campus. Man, it's amazing because the guys at the dorms, they got what they have the same experience as they would if they were on the college level. If they were freshmen in college right now, that's where they're at. The difference is, you know, being there, they get to be molded more into spoken young men who are prepared for what's going to come on the next level. So that's some good stuff there. So the academic piece, let's talk academics. And your mom just got off. That's the academic piece right there. That's the most important part. Let's talk.
That is the most important part.
It is. Let's talk a little bit about that. And you know, what the young men there, you know, what they have to come to when they're getting the academic piece. You know, because some guys post grad, they come because they don't have the grades. Some do have the grades. Some need some ACT, SAT help. So what are you guys, you know, giving these guys?
Well, one of the first things that Coach Storm does as he's talking to prospective players, the first thing he asks for is a transcript. We need to know where they sit academically so that we can honestly and transparently let them know what their eligibility is as far as being recruited. A lot of players automatically think that they're going to be D1, you know, and people will say that they're D1. But as soon as I get that transcript, I have to say, no, I'm sorry, no, you're going D2.
Right.
So that the transcript comes first. Before we even talk about football, we talk about grades. We talk about grades. We have the benefit of having our own school program. Mm-hmm. So those who need classes, and I'm going to use Leo right here because he's an example. He graduated from high school, good grades, but they didn't give him foreign language. And if you know the college scene, 99% of the colleges will not accept you without 2 years of foreign language. So he's taking foreign language here, which we're able to give him. So we have several players who need extra classes to qualify them, to get them eligible, but they do all of that on site, in face. None of our classes are online. Even our ACT prep, which right now we don't have to do because the NCAA has waived it. Mm-hmm. So unless a player comes to us and says that they're being recruited by a special school that wants the test, then we can do the prep. But right now,
and that's still waived. I'm sorry to cut you off. That is still waived.
It's still waived.
Okay.
It's still waived. But here, the colleges have the option to want it, but per the NCAA, it's still waived. It's still waived.
Okay. And that's what a lot of guys get mixed up. They don't know if that's waived or not, and that GPA is real important nowadays with that waiver.
It certainly is. So even though we have several players who have come into our program who are academically eligible, they still have to take one class, which is which is not a requirement, but the NCAA does allow after graduation, one class if you are D1 to up that GPA. So we make all of them take one class.
Good.
If you got a 2.5, you can finish with a 2.6, which is definitely better than a 2.5.
Definitely. So, I mean, a lot of guys, I've witnessed a lot of guys with that issue. You know, they say, I graduated, I got my diploma. And then that transcript gets looked over and raked over. And then it's like, but you don't have this. You know, what does that how does that happen? Like give some insight. Well, I got you on. I'm about to get some insight from you.
Well, listen, when the students go to high school, the counselor's job is to graduate them. It is not their job to make them NCAA eligible. And unless a family and a player specifically tell the counselor that that's what their goal is, they're only going to focus on graduation. So they need so many credits to graduate. They get the credits, out they go. But according to the NCAA, of course, you have to have 4 of this and 4 of that and 2 years of foreign language here. There's a whole different criteria. So a lot of young men we've talked to, and they'll say, "Oh, I got a 2.7," and as soon as I get that transcript, I have to call him back and say, "I'm sorry, brother, but you only got a 2.2," because all those A's that he had were of electives. Of course, you're going to get 100 in PE.
Right.
You take PE for 4 years, you got 400s.
Right. You've been a weight trainer for 4 years because you play football.
Exactly. That's why we want to see a transcript first. That way, we can have a honest conversation with the player to let them know exactly what's needed for them to be eligible, what we can do to help them. I mean, sometimes their GPAs are so low, I have to come straight and say, yo, I'm sorry, you're JUCO. There's nothing we can do. But the majority of them, 90% of them, we can help. We can help. Like I said,
so you guys do have to turn away some guys and say, listen, this is not the path for you. You might need to go to the junior college path, because this isn't for you. But, we can help guide you to that direction, but we not it.
Well, but here again, there's another side of that too, because now a lot of our players don't do well with online classes. Okay, so the majority of classes in JUCOs are online, so they can still come and play for us. They can enroll in a JUCO program, and we will help them with their online classes while they're on our campus. That way, they have the benefit of us as tutors to help them get past that first semester so that hopefully they can stay for the second semester and not flunk out.
Right. Man, guys should be knocking y'all's door down. I mean, they don't even know the resources that's over there that you guys have available and ready for them.
Well, as Coach Storm and my husband AD will tell you, we have a lot of students who come but don't want to stay because they have to be on site. They want to come. They want to bring a car. You can't bring your car here.
Right.
Where are you going?
Right.
Okay. So they don't like the fact that they have to stay here and they can't go anywhere. And it's a hard transition.
It ain't for everybody. So with that, don't be scared, fellas. Speak your mind. So what's your experience, being there? First, let's talk your mindset of going prep. Why you decided to go prep? Leo, you can go ahead and go first.
I decided to go prep. Like she said, I needed to get some of my grades up to where they needed to be for me to go to a school that I wanted to go to. And to what you said about the not being able to go anywhere, yeah, it's hard. Like, what I'm saying? Stay here every day, but it's what you want to do and what do you trying to accomplish for yourself. So if you want to do it, then you're going to do it if you want it that bad.
That's facts. So what about you, man?
My route was a little different. So I first started at a different college and then just things weren't working out. And so my decision to start playing football again, I was looking for a school, and that's when I found Georgia Storm. And once I got here, I took the visit, got to see the campus around. It was what they advertised, exactly what they said they had. So just coming here and, seeing the work that we put in and all that, it just made me go harder because, they put their all into you.
Right. And I mean, that's a fact. I've seen Storm at work. I've seen them all at work. Storm was in the bowl game last year, the All-Star Bowl. We got some more news on that coming soon. Storm again, we're not going to release everything. We can't tell everybody everything. but he even had guys studying. Does he have you guys studying a lot, studying plays and stuff?
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's not just y'all. We had 3 days of practice, and he had guys studying downstairs every single day. So it's not just y'all. Hey, y'all got a good coach there, man, because that's what you want. You want somebody who's a student of the game who can teach you the game, so you can become a student as well. So when you get to the next level, it's gonna be like, oh, I know this. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this. I know this. The terminology is really the thing that sets things apart. So once you learn that terminology, you like, I know what you're talking about, coach. I got you. So that's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. Storm, so you get on these guys, huh?
I do, man. They came for an experience. They came for life-changing things, and that's what we strive ourselves to do. It's real simple, man. If you want it, you got to wake up and go get it every day, and cut off your distractions and cut off the things that may not bring you towards your goals. But, and like I tell them, you got to stack your stones, man. And right now, every day, we making sure that they stack those stones, and now that we're feeding into the team, the players make sure the other players stack their stones. So it's like a domino effect when it comes to this.
Right. So did either of you guys have offers or looks, interest before coming out of high school?
I mean, I had a few, but it ain't really no big school. I say this was the best thing that ever happened to me for instance, like other schools, they probably wouldn't give as much as the staff here give, or like the comfort we have off the field as other schools would provide.
Right. And I mean, that's important, man. So I mean, tell me, what's your aspirations? What's the goal that you have? What's your end game from this being there at Camp Storm?
To finish, really.
The finish.
I don't think this is like just for anybody. Like you have to really be consistent in what you want to do here and really like have
That's
your
for
mind
sure.
stay.
So are you trying to make sure you go D1? You trying to get a scholarship? You know which one is it? What is it for you?
It'd be great to get a scholarship from somewhere, but I really just want to finish school. Like keep going more than just finishing high school.
Right.
I want to go farther than that and see what that means to me.
Right. And we'll say your name one more time. My man over here.
Osmanis Aguilera.
You can call him O.
Okay, that's exactly O. That's exactly what I'm gonna call you. Oh, so what about you, man? You know, your aspirations and what your end game for this? Because like you said, you've been out, you know, for some time already. So I mean, you want it because you decided, you know what, this is what I'm about to do. You made the decision to be there. You know, you put yourself in that environment, knowing that what the environment was going to be, because they told you what it's going to be, and it is what they told you it's going to be. so for you, you know, what's your aspirations to get out of this, and where you headed?
My aspirations is just take my game to the next level, and you know, continue to work hard here. And like I said, you know, I had a couple like setbacks with school, so just being around people who you can get, you know, your academics from daily all throughout the day is, you know, that's a great tool. And just soaking up information from Coach Johnson, because of course he made it to where we all trying to get. So I was trying to soak up all his info on that.
Right. Got you. Did you have any looks when you were coming out or anything like that?
Yes, sir. I had a couple. It's just grades was a problem. And then when I did go to college, of course, I had, you know, a setback with that.
Right. I mean, hey, it gets real, man. It gets real. You know, a lot of guys say, hey, I want to go D1. I want to go D1. I'm about that life. They get there, and that life is a whole lot different from with them coaches that were recruiting you and telling you it was going to be. You get there, and that class is serious. Them weights, they serious. Then you got girls trying to tell you don't go to weights, but you need to go to weights. And then you got practice and you got film. And it's like, man, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? And then you want to go out and have a good time, and you can get caught up going out and have a good time because it's a party every night. And I want to do this paper, but everybody keeps blowing my phone up saying, let's go to this party. So, I mean, it's easy to get caught up in that college life, but going post-grad, especially there, because y'all can't go nowhere. So now y'all can adapt to that. When everybody saying, "Hey, man, I'm bored, ain't nothing to do," you like, "Man, I'm good. I'm good. I did this before. I'm here to play ball. I've been here, done that. I'm here to play ball. I ain't worried about it. You know." So
I like it that you clarified all of that.
For sure. So I mean, let me talk to the AD over there. Let me talk to Pops.
Yes, sir.
So last year was you guys' first year.
Right.
So let's talk about, you know, that some of that transition, the hiccups, you know, because I'm sure it was some pains and headaches, you know, that first year going into the second year. Let's just get on that a little bit. We don't need to know all y'all's business. Let's just talk a little bit about it.
The first year was interesting for us because we had to adjust to 24/7 supervision. We had to adjust to different personalities. When you're living with people, you can't hide. Everything is up front. After the first 2 or 3 weeks, we know everybody. We know who they are, how they think, and what their aspirations are. So that first year, we began to figure out how to maneuver their energy to get the energies pointed towards our goals.
Mm-hmm.
This year, because we had a year in our belt, and I was going to skip a little bit. Feeding them every day is a monster. Mm-hmm. Feeding them every day is a monster. To have food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner prepared for these cats because they eat a lot, and the different tastes, the different things that come to go through, trying to make sure we give them every comfort that they need. Well, this second year, we made a transition. Now we understand how to attack all those areas. So this year has been a little bit easier. The demands that we place on them we had to now modify from last year because we've seen all the pitfalls, things that we didn't do. Now, this group had the benefit of having all those pitfalls filled in. So now they don't have any room.
Right. Right. You know the tricks. You know it already.
we got it lined up. So what we do now, before they even think of it, we're telling them, no, we ain't doing that. We're doing this, and this is how this goes. And hey, do this. So now we're able to give them, to better serve them, because now we understand what it is that we're doing and how it affects them and what they're doing. So it's a little bit different now. We're a little bit more in tune to the players. We're still very demanding. I am the enforcer.
Mm-hmm. You pops the 20 something boys, 20 plus boys.
I'm the enforcer, and I also teach. I teach classes, so they see me a lot. Right. So what I establish is the discipline factor. In order to do what you want, you're going to have to follow the guidelines, because there are no deviations. Because once you leave us, no one's going to care like we care. See, we deal with your personal problems, all those things. Colleges, no one cares about what your personal stuff is. It's all about what they want you to do. Mm-hmm. So I get the opportunity to get into their heads, let them understand, hey, man, it's okay. We're going to help you. But once you leave here, remember, no one's going to care about what your personal feelings are. It's all about business.
Business.
All the way
business. They got family to feed.
Yeah, hey, listen. They put a product on the field. So I think for us, their second year, we have now gotten the ability to give them those type of experiences and that type of information. Leo alluded to the fact that information, I'm giving information 24/7 every day to each player. I know each one. I know each one individually. I know where they are. So when I drop information on them, I do it in such a manner that they understand directly what I'm saying, so to keep them on track. So that's been the benefit of going into our second year. I think that the players that we have, they understand where we're coming from. Our goal is to make you the best you can be, but there are things that you have to do as an individual to receive this information. Mm-hmm. Once you receive it, then you must process it and put it back out there, and that's how we do. So it's a very like I said, it's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because I know it has to be frustrating. Everybody has to go through it. I'm talking about y'all right now. Everybody has to go through it, but to kind of, the path that it takes. You already been there. You've seen it. Storms. So you raised the son that's taking the path to the highest level. So you try to teach them and tell them things, but I'm sure y'all still get some kind of pushback. Like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. And everybody does it. I got a nephew, and he's grown. I still try to.
I circumvent all of that. They know that. They know when I say cut, that's what I mean.
Right.
I mean cut. I don't need no rebuttal. I don't need to know how you personally feel. Right. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, this is what you need to do to obtain this goal. The rest of it is irrelevant to me. And that's how I approach it. It sounds hard and it's harsh, but hey, you know what? In order to achieve that goal, you got to do that. There's no way around it because no one is going to listen to what you feel and what you think. That's not what it's about. It is about doing the task, learning the information, putting it on the field, in the classroom, everywhere. Being the same person, as Coach says in his meeting every day, being the same person every day because it requires that. It doesn't require anything else. Raising a son, having the privilege of raising a son, my wife and I, who went to the highest level, we understand all those things because we went through those things with him. But the main thing that we kept drilling into his head, if you really, really want it, this is the price you pay.
Right.
If you can't pay that price, then you really don't want it. Right. And that's the message that I send to these players. This is the price. There are no exceptions. I'm not going to stand here and listen to anything you got to say other than if it's something that I need to listen to, then I will. But when it comes down to playing, when it comes down to discipline, when it comes down to focus, I'm not even dealing with none of that because obviously you have a different agenda. And if your agenda don't read out where our agenda reads, you disappear.
Right, exactly. I understand. And I'm sure the players are like are definitely sitting like they didn't know they was going to football jail. They were
I like that. I like that. You're right. Like that. Boot camp. I'm a military guy. I'm a military guy.
Right.
See, I'm from the military. So I run everything like I was taught in the military. And that's what there are no questions. You follow orders, they're happy. Right. That's my motto.
Hey, I mean, it seems to work. So for the military, so hey, I mean, it feels good when they leave. They'll understand.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
they'll be talking like, I know what y'all was talking about now. You know, so it is always when they leave.
I want to say this. Last year, we had players who didn't want to leave.
Right.
They was like, I don't want nobody.
I mean, they in confinement now. Y'all done trained them like an inmate. Like, sure, I don't know what to do out here in these streets no more.
They would say, I don't want to go back to the street. I want to stay here with you guys. We had a player. Right. We had players come back that got scholarships before they had to report, came back to do 2 more weeks with us just to get back in that mode.
Right, because your mind is different, focused differently. Your mind is focused differently. I mean, I know when I used to take guys on the road to visit colleges and things like that, we'd be on the road for maybe 2 weeks, and their mindset is totally different because they're around like-minded people and they all got the same aspiration and goals. And when they get back, they know it's gonna be different. You know, so I mean, so it kind of you train yourself. What you really want and desire, you're able to get out of yourself, and you know when you get back, it's gonna be hard to keep that going. You know, but hey, but I mean, they there with y'all long enough where that's gonna stay, you know, ingrained in them.
They say that 30 days of consistent behavior becomes a part of you.
Right.
And they're here 4 months, so they got 4 months of consistent behavior. So once you get back, it's hard to revert back. But it happens because the environment itself will dictate it.
Right.
It will dictate it. So we just feel like giving them the right information, giving them the right attitude that once they leave here, they can carry that forth. And that's our biggest goal. Now, we're not building just football players. We're building young men.
Right.
We're building young men.
Fathers, husbands. Right.
We're building young men.
Absolutely.
I want them to be functional. You got to be functional. You're going to be a father one day. You're going to be a husband one day. You got to be functional. And that's the main idea we bring here at Georgia Storm Prep. We want you to be a football player, but a man first.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. So let's talk a little football before I get y'all up out of here. Storm, the man. Let's talk a little football. I just saw Coach Hayde at Allen University said, "Man, you a great leader, great coach." That's pretty admirable, man. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. Yes, so I mean, let's talk a little football, man. So I always tell everybody, you know, I don't want the secret sauce. I just want, you know, I don't want a dab. I just want to know what it looked like. What y'all running over there?
To be honest, we have to run what our players can do. We have 18 players. So there's a lot of things that, you know, as a coach, I had to sit here and wonder about and that's why these guys are so special. And that's why I tell people like college coaches and stuff, man, they play certain positions, but I tell them every day, y'all are worth 4 people. Y'all are doing what 4 people do on the aspect of special teams. Both of these guys, he plays corner, he plays linebacker, he plays kick return, he plays on the line, he plays on special team. They do about 5 things on this team. If I lose him, there's 10 people have to fill his jobs. I lose him, there's like 7 people. So the scheme of things is really to put my skill position, my talent in space, and then my guys who run good between the tackles, them the ball and running back. So I mean, it's a scheme on offense. You know, we're pro style. We have a good quarterback with a good arm. We're basically a lot of run plays, play action, screens, just getting our guys in space. Unfortunately, our line situation isn't where I want it to be.
Hey, that's all over the country, man. All over the country. Colleges, everybody have that issue. Linemen are a rare breed nowadays.
They are, man. They are. And if they're not, that means they got a whole bunch of people behind them wanting them. So it's so you have to think outside the box sometimes, especially when it comes to things of that nature. Now, defensively, it's a little bit more fun, I should say, because we have gifted athletes here, or we make them gifted. You know, like I said, man, our training is spectacular to me. You know, I think yesterday they did like 2 miles before we did anything. So, you know, because obviously we got 17 players, they have to be in shape. That's one thing about
absolutely.
Out, then I got to come out cold. We can't be doing stuff like that. So one thing about it, when I look at my roster and see I have, you know, under 20 guys, we all got to be in shape. So we do a lot of running here. So defense is a little bit more fun. You know, we run basically a 3-4. We can run a 4-3. I like 2 high, I like 1 high. I honestly teach them the whole game. I honestly teach them the whole game. I mean, we have about 7 whiteboards in here, not in this one building. We got 2 in this one. But, we have about 7. Yeah, we have 7 in this room, and you know, I teach them football. You know, we can run any scheme. It's just the players and what we have, and who's healthy, who's not, who's on board, who we're playing against, what kind of scheme they have. You know, these guys are very flexible with learning. I mean, if they had to put their playbook together, it'll probably be about this big. You know, so you know, and I tell them when I teach them, we may not use this stuff, but it's good for you to know.
Right?
To see it and to understand it. And I just don't call plays just to call plays. I actually break down the whole play. This is what's going to happen if he does this. This is what's going to happen if he does that. If you decide to do this, this is a mistake. You got to keep on the course. You got to cut. I teach them everything about this play. So when they do it, it's like they understand it from inside out and not guessing.
I used to tell my guys, I need you to know this defense better than I know it. Like, I need you to know it that well.
Then I need you to teach it again to somebody else.
Exactly. That's what I used to tell them, man. You need to know it that well, where when you come off the sideline, you can tell me what's going on, and so we can make the adjustments together.
Exactly.
That's what I need. I need you to be a coach on the field as well, and that right there goes a long ways, man. Guys at Bethune-Cookman and everywhere, you know, they're thriving because not only just because of talent, but because they know the game. When you know the game, that's the quickest way to get on the field. When you know what you're doing. Knowing what you're doing alone will get you on the field. You know, so that's big, man. That's real big. So who's your next opponent, man?
Our next opponent is
Spates
Academy.
Spates.
Now down in St. Petersburg, Florida.
St. Pete. Okay. All right. Are y'all traveling here?
We're going there. We're going there about 7 hours.
All right, so you guys get to have some family come through then, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, they happy about that. They happy about that.
Y'all get to come through the gates. They're gonna let you out the gates. Yeah. That's some good stuff, man. So I mean that's good, Storm. I love everything you guys are doing over there. You know, I had to get y'all on. I was waiting, letting the season go through a little bit. I was like, all right, it's time. You know, so I love what y'all doing over there, man. So guys, when we get talk about football, do you feel like it's a step, like a separation from when you're in high school, how you're learning right now? Are you learning differently from how you had to learn in high school, being with Coach Storm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How so? Like the fact that the playbook is that thick. What is it?
Yeah, so it's like in high school, like there's a lot of things they go over, but like at this level, since of course he's been to the top, it's a lot more, you know, concepts, what players do at certain body language, you know, a lot of film study, a lot of working on the field, certain things you can't have do the rep or nothing like that.
Right,
it's just more intense, and it's little of us, so we gotta just bring it every day.
So what keeps you going, man? Like, I know it's tough, you know what I mean? We can't say it's not tough. I know it's tough. What keeps you being like, all right, just stick it out, just stay with it? You know, what keeps you going?
So it's like, it's hard here, of course, because it's football. If you're trying to get to where you want to go, of course it's gonna be hard. Just viewing into the future, like if I get through this, if I do this, you know, where can I be? Well, what can I be when I leave here, you know? And then what type of man will I be when I leave here? And just things in that nature, as far as like just what they put into you and what your teammates put into you, because you're here 24/7 with them. So those like your brothers, and
right.
you always want to thrive with your brothers, and so that just pushes me to become the best.
Right. Okay. All right. What about you, Leo?
I say I look back at where I came from. That pushed me more of like how I grew up and stuff, and I see this as another opportunity to live a better life and do actually what I want to do in the future and what I want to become.
Right. So did Coach Storm have y'all prepare for this interview? Did he have y'all? he detailed. Did he have y'all practice before this interview?
Yes, sir.
I mean, y'all speaking good, man. One thing that for sure why we had this podcast is try to help you guys know how to talk to the media, because it's coming. You know, we speaking in existence. One day they're gonna be in y'all's face, you know, ask you this and that and the other. So we're gonna speak it in existence. It's coming. You just gotta be patient and hold on for sure. All right. So this question, man, we're gonna end this thing and wrap this up. But this question I usually
excuse me, Chris. They didn't want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
We I teach a sociology class. One of the things that I do in my class, they have to write papers, and then they have to go up in front of the class, read their paper, and defend it.
Oh man,
and
that's tough.
That's real tough when you've never had to do that. But I do that because I want them to be able to speak in front of people. And if you're able to speak in front of your teammates, because they're gonna be laughing and giggling at you, if you're able to maintain your focus and defend because I challenge them, you're gonna defend your position, and they have to defend it. So I make that a part of their learning, because, like you said, they're gonna be confronted with media. You don't want to stand there with the You want to be able to speak exactly what is asked and do it with confidence. So I demand that they write their papers, and it must be a paper, not one or two paragraphs. I want a full page, if not two, to on the question and defend your position, because I'm going to challenge you. And
man, that's tough. That's tough, because not only are you putting them on Front Street, but the criticism, they have to be able to take the criticism while staying focused on the point they're trying to get across. Exactly. And not get upset and storm out, and you know, things that they got to learn how to take criticism, you know, whether it's constructive or, you know, it's negative, whatever it might be. They got to be able to take that, you know, get their emotions, you know, ball them up and say, put that on the side and say, okay, I'm gonna get my point out still.
And
So I mean, that's big. I like that.
That's what one of the classes. That's the class. Everyone takes the sociology class, and it's a college course. It's a college level class. They can take it with them, but the demand on that class, and they realize I'm not playing. You will defend yourself, and that makes them a better person, a better speaker, and they can speak with more confidence. I wanted to say that so that anybody that watched this podcast and understand what we're doing here. We're trying to build students. We're trying to build people who can go into society, whether they make it to the top level or not, and become productive people and be able to get in front of audiences and explain themselves, speak with confidence, and also do the research that is required to be able to do those type things, because research is required to defend yourself. But I wanted to get that off. I thank you so much.
I mean, it's funny that you doing that, because when I was in college at Troy, I had a speech class that I had to take, and I ain't had no sense, but I really didn't know I was saying this out loud, but I did, and I said, man, why are we even doing this? And I thought I was saying it in my head, but when everybody laughed, I realized I said that out loud, and I don't think my professor liked that too much. But I said that to say, now I understand. Look at me now. I'm
exactly.
So it's being put to use, and that class carried on. So sometimes the things that you're doing in the moment might not make sense, but but it makes sense for what's to come later on. So I like that you're doing that for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
For sure.
That's part of our curriculum. So that's what we do.
Right.
Hey, Chris, I just want the place to, like I said, for anybody that's listening, I want them to break down a full day of what we do here before we wrap it up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's do that.
And this is an everyday thing. This is not when they say this, they're gonna do this tomorrow.
So like a daily thing here is like 6 a.m. wake ups, and we'll have a meeting at 7. You'll have breakfast or whatever after you get done with the meeting. Then you got workouts right after that. So like either 8 or 9. After your workouts is usually probably like 11 o'clock. Well, actually before your workouts. Yeah, before your workouts. So this is a big land. So you're gonna run this land and you run it like lately we've been running like 3-4, but like 2 days ago we ran 6. So it's no joke. It's
he said not field, he said land. He didn't say field. Okay.
You're gonna run and then you're gonna come in, and that's when you do your abs. And then after your abs, and the abs ain't no joke neither. They're 2 minutes of like six, and then moves. We'll go down 6 and then we'll go back up. So it's like 20 minutes of abs. And then if you drop in, you falling down, you adds more time. So it's like you gotta do it.
So you might always get it over with. Just get it done.
Then we got our weight training, and our weight training is a circuit training. So it's like 10 stations of hard reps that you actually have to do 10 of, like bench. It's not lightweight, so you're gonna have to do that a number of times. So after we get done with that, it's usually around like 12 o'clock. So then you'll shower, we'll have a lunch at 1. After lunch, it depends on the day. We'll either have laundry at 2 or we'll have a class at 2. And then after you get done with that, you right onto the field. And then if it's like close to game day, after the field, you'll shower, maybe eat. Well, you go eat dinner, and then after that, you got meetings. It was like your whole day.
You sound tired just saying it. When you said we got meetings, you sound how you feel every day at meetings. That's how you sound right there.
You left out evening classes.
I was just about to say, I knew that was in there. Some of
them have classes in the evening after dinner, so they're supposed to be in bed by 10, but some of them have classes from 8 to 9:30. Oh, man. After they've come off the field.
The days are flying by, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Now, not even thinking about it, they are.
They laying in bed every night like, why? What was I? Wow.
Everybody I think on this campus had that night. Hell, I even had
Everybody, man. If you go to college, if you're playing college football, college sports, you're gonna have that night in college. You're gonna have that night. Like, why?
Amen.
Why? Until the game day coming in. All right, now I know why.
I know why.
I did this. Now I know why. But man, I like it. That, I mean, college is gonna be easy. Trust me. Now college is gonna be easy for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be cake. It's gonna kick. So I'm gonna wrap this thing up. There's a question I usually ask the coach, but I'm not gonna ask you, Storm. I'm not gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna ask the fellas this question, and I want to ask them, if Coach Storm was a fruit, what fruit would Coach Storm be? What fruit do y'all think Coach Storm would be? First one to come to your. Hey, y'all still gonna run tomorrow, so it don't really matter. Just say it. Just say what you gotta say. What fruit would Coach Storm be? First one to come to your mind right now.
Coconut.
Coconut. Why? Why would he be a coconut?
Because it's hard. It's so hard.
He hard. What you
Coconuts are soft to the inside though.
They are soft on the inside. That mean they got you figured out. Coach, you think the same thing on coconut?
Nah, I was gonna say like an apricot.
That is, I've never heard that one before. Why? I gotta know why.
I want to hear an explanation on this one.
Because I feel like it represents optimism. So it's like he's very optimistic, and as a coach, you need those traits.
I like that. I've never heard that one. That's going down in the history book right there. I like that, man. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all for coming on, man. Great family, great program, man. I love it. Hey, if you listening and you're a high school student, you need to check it out. That's where you need to check out for sure. If you want to get something out of it, that's what you need to check out, man. So I appreciate y'all coming on, man. We'll be talking more Storm.
Yes,
family.
sir.
And y'all keep doing what you're doing.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Storm out.
Great job, guys. Great job, guys.